welcome to Cheap Seats episode number 10. I have Bryce with me and Cameron with me as well. The NFL draft is coming up pretty soon, April 27th. So we are doing our joint mock draft this time around. A little later than we expected to do it. That's all right. But we're going to buckle in and get it done today. We have a lot of picks to go through. So we're only going to do the first round. We're going to go in the order of Bryce, Cameron, then me. And we're going to do no trades since PFF wants to charge you $10 to do trades, which is absolutely fucking ludicrous, if you ask me. So I guess we'll just dive into it. So first pick in the draft, Bryce, you're on the clock with the Panthers. A lot of options here. I think if the Panthers don't come out of this draft with a quarterback at the top, it would be a mistake.
Now, I
It'd
don't
be a
know
real
the
head
last
scratcher
time.
for me.
Yeah.
I don't know the last time an Alabama quarterback did good in the NFL, but he did amazing in college. But the only person I can think of is fucking Bryce Young. So
Yeah, Bryce Young first overall. I agree with that pick.
I'm more of a CJ Stroud guy. I heard they're high on him, but
well, that
either
sucks. You didn't pick him.
it's your preference.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of A1 and A2 right there. I like Bryce Young more just because I feel like he's more of an improviser and a creator. I feel like he has a higher ceiling. CJ Stroud is more of the higher floor guy where I think he's going to be a solid player in the NFL. I think he could be kind of a Jared Goff type of guy where Bryce Young, I mean, he is undersized. He is kind of skinny for a quarterback, but I think he has the potential to be like a Drew Brees if he hits his max. So really either or with that one, but I like that pick. Cameron, you're on the clock at number 2 with the Texans.
We're going CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I mean that one was pretty easy to go
Cameron,
through
isn't
right
that
there.
your favorite team?
It was his Madden League team,
Texans?
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
the
Madden
one that
League
we
team.
never finished.
Yeah.
Never got uploaded. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not listening to this. You know that.
That one got lost in the accords. So, yeah, CJ Stroud, I like that pick. Like I was just saying, pretty solid quarterback too. I've heard rumors that the Texans could pass on a quarterback at 2, which I don't know why they would do that and roll with Davis Mills, but if they're really inclined to, they could. Do you think that's a possibility?
I feel like Davis Mills has shown you what he can give you in his time there already.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
I say you take a young guy, and if he can't, just have like a QB battle. Like, who's gonna be our week 1 starter?
Yeah.
If he has to sit behind Davis Mills, so be it. He's learning.
That's true. I mean, I feel like it is pretty
Yeah.
realistic that they could just run Davis Mills out there for week 1 and have like Stroud or Young or whoever they take kind of sit behind him. No doubt.
Because you know what Davis Mills can give you. He can win you games, but it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, I feel like
And there's not enough.
he's the type of guy who could be a good backup in the NFL for a while, but I don't think Davis Mills can hold a starting job.
But I also feel
No.
like there's not enough pieces around him he doesn't have enough help in that offense.
It's true. They got like no receivers. I mean, they just lost Brandon Cooks too. So you have like Nico Collins and John Mechie the third, I think his name is, and he didn't even play last year because he was injured. So who do you really have to help him out? I mean, you have Damian Pierce to give the ball to, but Texans got no one. So yeah.
Yeah.
Third pick then, Cardinals. I'm gonna be picking for them. I think they got a few options here, but I feel like the home run hit here is Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama. He's the best edge rusher in this class, no doubt, and they need help in the front 7. They lost J.J. Watt to retirement. Zach Allen went free agency to the Broncos, I believe. So,
Whoop whoop.
yeah, they don't really got anyone else up there, and I feel like Will Anderson is probably the most surefire edge prospect in this draft. I've seen a lot of pro comps to Von Miller, which is really high praise. So I think you'd be stupid to not take him at 3. So uh, pick 4 then. Colts coming in, needing the quarterback. They also could go edge, but I don't know if they're going to love anyone there. Bryce, who do you have the Colts taking at 4?
No, Will Levis or Levis.
Will
Sorry,
Levis?
how you ever say it? Levis. That's how you say his name.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
I
him
like that.
out of Kentucky.
definitely a Colts type of pick right there too. Shane Steichen coming in from the Eagles. I mean, I feel like he would be weighed more to Anthony Richardson, but Will Levis is. I see a lot of pro comps to. He could be a Josh Allen, but he's also kind of a boomer bust guy where he didn't look good in his senior year in college, but he did look like he has the tools to be a good quarterback. It's just kind of a matter of making sure he's in a good system and teaching him the right ways. And I feel like Will Levis could be something special, but that leaves pick number 5 to the Seahawks. Cameron, you're picking for them. Where do you think they go here?
We're gonna go Jalen Carter. You need somebody on this defensive line. I mean, you got Draymond Jones, but you need other pieces there.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, Jalen Carter, some character issues maybe, but it feels like uh, Seattle's a good culture for him to be in. I think he could learn a lot there. And they don't really got anyone up front at all. I mean, Draymond Jones, like you just said, but they got no one off the edge. Jalen Carter, probably the second best defensive line prospect in this draft. Pick number 6, then. I got Detroit on the clock. I was opposed a while to this pick being a corner, but now they just traded away Jeff Okudah. I thought they wanted to keep and kind of develop him. So now I'm going to pay into the corner here, and I'm actually going to go Christian Gonzalez. I like him a little more than Devon Witherspoon. He's a slightly bigger corner. He's got really fluid hips and good ball skills. Uh, Devon Witherspoon, a little undersized at the corner position, so I feel like uh, he could be good. I mean, he's a physical guy, but I feel like I just like Christian Gonzalez a little more. So I would go with him here at pick number 7. Then Bryce, or not 7, my bad, pick 6. Pick 7 is the Raiders. Bryce, you have them. They could go quarterback here. They could go on the O line, defensive back. I feel like is a pretty good option too. So I mean, really
So
anywhere.
you took Christian Gonzalez, hey?
Yeah, I took Christian Gonzalez.
I feel like the Raiders are still gonna go with the cornerback, so I'm gonna pick Devin Witherspoon.
It's a good pick. I like that. Physical guy. Very physical corner. I hear he plays bigger than he actually is. So
Well, that's always good though.
good guy back there. I feel like they need help in the secondary. Who do they really have? I mean, no one. So pick
Yeah.
8. Cameron, you got the Falcons on the clock. Who do you like there?
Oh, I mean, do you go QB when they have Desmond Ritter and Taylor Heineke?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to develop Desmond Ritter?
But it's a small sample size.
It's true.
Let him show you what he's got, you know?
Yeah.
So with pick 8, the Atlanta Falcons select Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech.
Solid. I like that guy. I feel like he's a really big edge rusher, and he's got the size to be really good, and the tools are there too. So, and he doesn't have character issues like Jalen Carter has. So, I feel like he's a lot more of a surefire prospect than some of the other edge rushers too. Like Nolan Smith is on the board still. Miles Murphy. I like Tyree Wilson a lot better than those guys. So, I feel like that's a pretty fair pick. Uh, pick 9 for the Chicago Bears. Picking for my least favorite team in the NFL. But I'm gonna go tackle, and I'm gonna go Paris Johnson Jr. right here. I feel like they could go Peter Skoronski too, but I feel like Paris Johnson Jr. is more the mold that the Bears would be looking for. He's a bigger lineman. He's got longer arms than Skoronski, and he's more of a just like a fit tackle. Like he can play out on the edge, and he's going to be a solid piece for you there if he plays up to his strengths. So I feel like
But I
Paris
feel
Johnson
like
Jr. is a better pick.
I just feel like Skaronski, you can put him anywhere in the front five, and he'll be fine.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I like Skoransky more as a prospect than I do Paris Johnson Jr., but I feel like the better fit for the Bears, if I were to be GM of them, I would probably take Paris Johnson Jr. I just feel like he's a better fit, but Skoransky is definitely still on the board, I would say, in my eyes. So Paris Johnson Jr. also looked really good at his pro day. I will say that. So pick number 10, Philadelphia on the board. Pretty stacked team. They So I've said a lot of stuff about this before, how they like to go trenches in the first round. So Bryce, do you think that's still going to be in play here, or where do you think they're going to go?
Oh yeah, they're going Big Pete.
Peter
Pete
Skoransky.
Skronsky.
I love that pick.
Yeah.
I like that pick too.
Big Pete.
Yeah, and I'll reiterate it again. I said it on a pod before, but Peter Skoransky has the ability, yep, to play all five positions on the line. You have an aging Jason Kelsey who was borderline going to retire this year and might retire next year. And then you have Lane Johnson, who's pretty old on the right side. So you can take Cam Jurgens, who you drafted to replace Jason Kelsey, and put him in at center, and then put Skoransky at right guard, or really slot him anywhere on that line. So I like Skoransky there a lot. It's fitting to what the Eagles like to do, and it's really on brand for them. So that leaves Cameron with pick 11 and the Tennessee Titans. Do we see them go quarterback here?
Yeah, yeah, we do. Anthony Richardson. I can't believe he's on the board yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I think if we were doing trades in a draft, he probably would have been taken by now.
I feel like if this was like where we could do trades, they would have traded up to 3, or not 3, or yeah, Cardinals had 3, right?
Yeah, I heard they're fielding phone calls about possibly trading back. And
Yeah,
I've heard a rumor
I
before of the
feel
Titans and
like they would
Cardinals
have traded
talking
up
about
to
a
3
trade.
for Anthony Richardson.
No doubt.
But yeah, I feel like Anthony Richardson is that Mike Vrabel kind of guy. His style offense.
Yeah, I agree. I think with Anthony Richardson is he has all the tools to be really good in the NFL. Uh, he's just got to be put in the right system. It's kind of the same story as Will Levis, but I like Anthony Richardson even more as a prospect just because he has a lot more of an ability to move the football with his legs and then kind of get out of the pocket and create. I feel like Will Levis is more of a pocket passer type, but Richardson looked very impressive at the combine, very impressive at his pro day. So I feel like him going at 11 is a steal, you know.
Oh yes, definitely.
All right, so that leaves me with pick 12 with the Houston Texans. Got their quarterback at 2. Now, D'Amico Ryans is a defensive head coach, so I will say that. They have an option to go wide receiver here. I don't know if you love anyone in this wide receiver class enough to take a wide receiver here at 12. Uh, Smith and Jigba is intriguing, but I feel like since D'Amico Ryans is a defensive head coach, uh, I'm going to go with Miles Murphy here at 12. Cameron's a big Miles Murphy guy. So
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
you reinforce
Not
that
I love
defensive
that
front.
guy.
You
Not
reinforce
trying to
that
say that I
defensive
love
front.
that guy. I'm just
He just says he loves the guy, not like he loves the guy. He just loves the guy. So I feel like it's a solid pick
if
for
you
them.
watch this guy's film, he's an absolute stud.
Yeah, you definitely got the.
The only thing is that he's got short arms or something. They're saying now that's bringing his stock down.
Yeah, I did hear some things about how his bend, like his work on the edge of the pass rush, like isn't great. Sometimes like he's got a lot of power off the edge, like he's kind of more of a bull rusher type, but he struggles to get around some of the offensive tackles sometimes, like when they really kind of do like a wide kick out. So I feel like that's something he could work on though with D'Amico Ryans, and it's a good fit for the Texans, and probably end up succeeding there. I'd say. So then Bryce, pick 13. You have the New York Jets. They could use a tackle here. They could use a linebacker. And that's what PFF has to say about it. I don't know. I think you could even throw a defensive interior in for that one, but
I honestly have no clue what I'm going to pick here. I'm thinking, you can hear the gears turning, okay? I personally think I was going to go Deontay Banks, but I'm changing my mind. I think I'm going to go Kala Cansey. Is that how you say his name?
Kalijah
Kalaja?
Cansey. Yeah,
Kalijah.
Kalijah Cansey. Defensive
Yeah.
interior. I feel like he's got really fast hands.
He's a little short, but you know what? That just means you can get low underneath them big guys and you can push some fucking trees right over.
It is true.
Right?
Going to be a good
I mean,
pass
look at
rusher
Aaron
in the
Donald.
NFL.
Aaron Donald's what, 5'10"?
Oh yeah,
He's short as shit, but he benches 500 pounds and squats like 700. He can move any
he's
of them
beefy.
guys out of the way.
That's true. I mean, I've even heard, I think it's kind of outrageous, but I've heard Aaron Donald comps to Kalijah Cansey. But I think Kalijah Cansey could be a very good pass rusher in the NFL, considering he has really good moves and he's kind of fast, but he's just not going to be a good run stopper. So maybe you move him to like an edge spot, and I feel like he could succeed a little more, but I like that pick.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Pick 14, Patriots. Cameron, you got their pick here.
What did we? This is like a situation where you're kind of looking to draft a quarterback, but there's nobody there
Yeah, not really anyone there.
because you don't know what you got with. Fuck, my nose is so blocked up. Sorry. You don't know what you got with
Actually,
Mac
precise
Jones.
enough.
Precisely. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Mac Jones is a pretty one-dimensional player. I don't think he's anything super special.
Yeah. No.
He's
I
like a
don't think you
base
can go
level
quarterback
starter.
here,
He
though.
can win you games, but
He's mid.
he's not. He's not going to win you games in the playoffs. He's a Philip Rivers kind of guy.
Yeah, I would even say Philip Rivers is better than Mac Jones
Yeah, it's probably better.
by like a
Steven, I
large
was gonna say,
stretch.
Philip Rivers is at least got experience and isn't.
Okay, I don't
He
know
might. People
if
might
this
say
guy
he's
was
washed
taken off
up,
the
but
board yet or not. Was Lucas Van Ness taken off the board yet?
Nope, still available. You gonna go with
We're
him?
taking him here.
There you go. That's a Bill Belichick pick if I've ever seen one. Take the white guy with the big white guy with the smart head. That's a Bill Belichick pick, which honestly I'm not opposed to. So yeah, that's pretty solid right there.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I got Green Bay on the board next, picking for my favorite team. Now, if I were to go off of what I think they will do, I would think they're not going to take a wide receiver here. But what am I going to do for them?
probably tight end
Tight end's a
or
big need,
safety.
No, Jarrett. We
but
talked about this, Jarrett. Tight end is a need, but
the tight end,
who's on the board that you said you want the Packers to get really bad?
I said Michael Mayer, but I don't love Dalton
No,
Kincaid.
no, no. I'm talking safety here.
Oh, safety,
Brian
Brian
Branch.
Branch. Yeah, I know. Brian Branch is such a Packers pick. I want to do it, but no, I'm going to take my guy. Yep, Brian Branch right here. This dude is versatile. He could play anywhere in the secondary. He could play down in the box. He's really fast to the point where he can run with wide receivers. I also probably would have went Jackson Smith and Jigba here, but you only got one pick, so I'm gonna go with Brian Branch. It is a Packers pick. They don't like going wide receiver in the first round ever, but I feel like Brian Branch can be a solid piece of the secondary, like going forward. So that leaves Bryce with the Commanders at pick 16. Could need a corner
We're
here.
gonna go.
Could need interior
Yeah,
offensive lineman. Could need a tackle. Any one of those.
we're gonna go. Broderick Jones
Ooh,
or
that's a solid
Broderick
pick.
Jones, however you say it.
Yeah,
I don't
Broderick
really know how to
Jones.
say it.
Definitely seems like a Commander's pick right there, too. He's a SEC tackle type of guy. I haven't done a lot of research on him, but he seems like he's been pretty solid for Georgia. So I feel like that's a good pick. He'll probably plug right in there, play somewhere in the offensive line, and give Sam Howell some protection this year. Or who's the other guy they just picked? Oh, Jacoby Brissett. I wonder if Brissett's going to be the starting
He's
guy there. I think he's
he's
going
got a
to.
cannon.
Yeah, he was pretty good for the Browns last year. I'm not going to lie. He was pretty solid. All right, pick 17, Steelers. Cameron, who do you think they're going to take here?
I see. I don't know. The best guy on the board right now. You got two solid receivers on the board right now. The Steelers. What do they got at receiver?
Mm,
Deontay Johnson, George Pickens.
yeah, I mean, that's about it. Don't they got one other guy? I can't think of who. No, I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, yeah. We're taking my favorite wide receiver in the draft class this year, Jackson Smith Najigba.
And to the Steelers, I actually like that pick. That's kind of sneaky. I mean, they
Oh,
definitely
no,
could
no,
use more
sneaky,
offensive
sneaky.
weapons. Feels like a Steelers pick too to do that. Where
Who's the
I mean,
Steelers quarterback this year?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
I feel like they might need a better quarterback. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. He showed flashes last year. He looked pretty good. So maybe if you put some more tools around him, like getting Jackson
I
Smith
feel
and
like,
Jigba, I don't hate that.
yeah, I feel like he has what it takes to be an NFL starter.
Yeah, I think so. Most definitely. All right. Pick 18 with the Lions. Before I went Christian Gonzalez for them at 6. So they still need edge. Still could use a tight end or anywhere on the D line too. I am going to go tight end, and I'm going to go Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. I like him more than Kincaid. Kincaid is kind of like a Travis Kelsey type where he's not going to be much in the blocking game. Where actually, Travis Kelsey can kind of block, but Kincaid can't really block. Mayer's more of a complete tight end. He's not as fast as Kincaid, and he's not as much of a receiving threat. Like, he's not going to stretch the field at all. But he's a solid route runner, got soft hands, uh, pretty good blocker, too. So I feel like I've seen a lot of pro comps to Jason Witten. I feel like he is definitely that mold of being just a solid tight end. He's not going to be a standout guy like a Travis Kelsey, but he's going to be good enough to be in there and be a starter every week for like 10 years. So that's what I got on Mayer. All right, pick 19, Buccaneers. Could use a tight end too. Could use O line, somewhere on the defense. Really got a lot of holes
Could
in this team,
really use a
surprisingly.
QB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they love QB here though. I mean, what's the next guy? Tanner McKee? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love
I mean,
quarterback here though. Could
maybe,
happen. I've seen Hendon Hooker
I'm
mocked in the
gonna.
first round a lot.
yeah, I don't
I'm
like
gonna.
Hendon
I'm gonna.
Hooker in the first round, but
Neither do I. I think he's a second round type of guy. Maybe
So we
third.
need what do we need? Tight end.
Tight end, offensive
tight
line,
end, D
defensive line,
line.
safety is an option too. I don't really think there's any good safeties left though that are first
Uh,
round worthy.
um, let's go. I'm not super sure about this guy. We'll go. Brian. Bessie. Bessie.
Brian Brzee, yeah.
Bazee.
Brian Brees.
Brian Brzee, not a bad interior player. A lot of questions about him. I feel like his draft stock has kind of fallen over the past couple weeks, I'd say. I mean, he was looking to be kind of first round. Now there's people questioning if he's gonna be a second round guy, but Buccaneers could use someone up front. Brzee, probably your best defensive interior on the board. So I mean, it makes sense, I would say. All right, pick 20. Cameron, you have have the Seahawks on the board. He's a
Eat
guard, corner, defensive
chickens.
line.
Um, we talked about this, Jarrett. This is the probably one of the best guards in this draft.
Oh boy.
With the 20th pick, the Seattle Seahawks are going to select Osiris Torrance
Yeah, I like
out of
that pick.
Florida.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's
so you
definitely
telling me there's a motherfucker out there that's named after skateboard shoes from like the middle 2000s, middle late 2000s?
close. I mean, his name's spelled pretty close to it.
Osiris.
Yeah, Osiris Torrance. I mean, he played in the SEC for Florida, was a solid guard for them. Seahawks need interior offensive line help, so I mean, pick makes sense. I feel like he could be a pretty solid kind of all pro guy in the NFL. So definitely don't think that's a bad pick at all. Uh, Pick 21. I have the Chargers. They could use a wide receiver here, could use a corner, could use a linebacker. Uh, so the thing is with wide receiver for the Chargers is they're going to want someone who has speed. So I would probably rule Quentin Johnson out. I mean, he's kind of fast, but they're going to need someone like a Zay Flowers or a Jordan Addison. But I don't think you reach for one of those guys right here. I think you go corner and you go Joey Porter Jr., who has super long arms, big physical corner, has a lot of potential. I mean, his dad was an NFL star for the Steelers, Joey Porter Sr. So I feel like that's a good fit for them. Pair him up with Asante Samuel Jr. and you got yourself a pretty solid secondary back there. So
I like that pick.
yeah, pick 22, Baltimore Ravens. In the flurry of needing to bring Lamar back, they could go wide receiver. Also need a corner. Edge is another option for them. Bryce, where do you think they go at pick 22?
I'm feeling they're not going to be too worried about the backfield here on the defense. I feel that they're going to want to play a little bit better, like up front defense. So I'm going to go with Nolan Smith if he's still on the board.
Oh yeah, Nolan Smith is a good pick. I like that. So the thing with Nolan Smith, very fast off the edge. He ran a 4.3940, I think, which was like the fastest out of an edge rusher in the combine. The only knock on him is he's a little small for an edge rusher, but I feel like he's about the same size of like a Hassan Reddick I saw. So, I mean, he probably could be pretty solid in the NFL just with the right scheme drawn up for him. So, Nolan Smith, pretty solid. I mean, he played at Georgia. He was good there. And I think he could probably be someone who's going to succeed in the league. So, pick 23, Cameron, that leaves you with the Vikings. Got a lot of options here, too. Quentin Johnson still on the
Nobody likes
board.
the
Could go
Vikings.
corner. Yeah, I don't, but you know what? That's how it is.
I feel like from the Vikings perspective here, who you have Jay Jettas at receiver. Who else do you have? Who's that other guy? I can't think of him.
They got KJ
His
Osborne. I mean, Adam Thielen's gone
He's
now.
good. KJ Osborne's good.
Do they
But
have?
you need that third
Yeah, definitely.
guy.
Oh,
And
there
I
goes
feel
Bryce
like
again.
that's why they're gonna go Quentin Johnston here. Just to fill up that little hole they have at wide receiver.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. It makes sense considering they have Jay Jettis, and I don't think you can trust KJ. I like KJ Osborne, but I don't think he's good enough to be a wide receiver too. And then you could put Quentin Johnson on the outside and then put KJ Osborne in the slot or put Jay Jettis in the slot where he's had a lot of success and just kind of roll with that. So Quentin Johnson, pretty good pick there for the Vikings. Pick number 24, I got Jacksonville on the board. They also could use a corner, could also use an interior offensive lineman or edge. I'm going to go
I like
Deontay Banks.
Deontay Banks here. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I would have picked them too.
He's probably like my last corner that's in kind of the upper echelon of corners in this draft. I mean, I've seen people be really high on Deontay Banks where they've even mocked him going in like between picks 10 to like 13, somewhere in that range. So,
I feel like you could put Emmanuel Forbes in as a first round corner as well.
Oh, I
The
love
guy's
Emmanuel
got
Forbes.
speed. He's lengthy. Not necessarily a ball hawk, but
Maybe he was pretty
he's
good
going
in
to fill your
college.
hole at corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was a pretty good ball hawk in college, but he was very physical too. I mean, he's only 160, but he plays a lot bigger than he is, and he's very good. He was very good for Mississippi, or Mississippi State, I should say. So, but yeah, Deontay Banks, pretty solid corner. Don't really have too much on him. I just know that he looks like he's going to be pretty solid in the NFL. I mean, he's pretty fast too. He ran a pretty good 40, so I think he has the speed to keep up with the NFL receivers. So, uh, Bryce, pick number 25. You have the Giants. Uh, Center is a need, linebacker is a need, safety is a need, wide receiver is a need. I don't know if, well, actually, there is like two other good wide receivers left on the board.
I'm going to go with Mr. Zay Flowers.
Nice pick. I like Zay
I like
Flowers.
that pick.
He's
Guy's fast.
he's kind of a he's kind of a shorter receiver, but he's really built for being short. He reminds me a lot of, he's not as big, but he reminds me a lot of Deebo Samuel, where he has the ability to generate yards after the catch and really make people miss. And I feel like he could maybe be a deep threat in the NFL. Give Daniel Jones some weapons, considering you just gave Daniel Jones all this money. So, and the Giants actually didn't look that bad last year. I think receiving, though, was kind of a weak point on that team. So I would definitely
Yeah.
take Zay Flowers as a good pick right there. So, Cameron, pick number 26. You have the Dallas Cowboys on the board.
With the 26th pick in the 2023 NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Bijan Robinson,
Damn, that's a good pick.
halfback out of Texas.
I was just
Like
thinking about taking
Dijon,
him
like the
next.
mustard?
Better than
No,
Dijon.
Bijan.
Bijan.
Oh, I thought you said Dijon. I'm like the mustard? Like, goddamn.
Bijan could be really good in the NFL.
He's that pass catching back. He kind of reminds me, not kind of slightly Aaron Jones type of guy.
Fair.
Jahmyr Gibbs is more of a Aaron Jones type of guy to me
Yeah.
than him, but
Yeah, Bijan, I mean, I think he compares a lot to like Saquon Barkley, where
yeah, that's a better comp.
he's a really good, he can kind of do it all. Like you mentioned, pass catching. I think he's also really good in the run game. And I think he's an every down back type of guy where I think he's one of the better prospects in this draft. It's just that he's a running back, and a lot of people don't like to take running backs in the first round. But when you have a guy that good, I don't see why not take him at pick 26. I would only say that I have seen some mock drafts where he goes even earlier. I mean, that could happen too. So, I mean, it's kind of all over the
Well,
place.
I've seen mocks where he goes and then Jahmyr Gibbs goes in the first round too.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs in the first that's an interesting take too, considering he is really fast. The only knock on Jahmyr Gibbs I've heard is that he's not an every down back type of guy. He's more of a third down back. I've heard a lot of pro comps. Yeah, I've heard some to Aaron Jones for Jahmyr Gibbs, and I've heard some to like Alvin
He
Kamara
has
too.
really good hands.
Yeah, very, very good receiving threat out of that, I would say. All right, so what does it land me? Pick 27 with Buffalo. All right, so Buffalo here. Uh, got a lot of options. I mean, you kind of just lost out on Bijan. I probably would have took him here as much as you like James Cook, Cameron, but I I think Bijan would have been a good fit for the Bills.
I
But
just feel like James Cook needs more time to develop, and
yeah,
he'll be just as good as his brother, I think.
yeah. Uh, this is a tough pick. I'll go Dalton Kincaid here for the Bills. They have Dawson Knox, but I feel like you can have a decent two tight end set then with Kincaid. And I feel like Kincaid has a higher ceiling than Knox. Like I feel like Knox is an okay tight end, but Kincaid is someone who could definitely be better than that. And it gives Josh Allen more weapons, considering you could also go receiver there, but I don't think receiver is as much of a need. They're gonna lose Gabe Davis, but I don't think receiver is strong in this draft though. Too like I'd probably rather have Kincaid than Jordan Addison right here. So that's my pick for that. Bryce, you have the Bengals at pick 28. Tight end is a need. Just lost the two best tight ends off the board. Defensive backs a need too, and defensive interior. So
Wait, is Dalton Kincaid gone?
yeah, I just took him.
You son
I know
bitch.
I'm slimy.
What do we need? Tight end,
Defensive
but
interior and defensive back.
defensive back, eh? Shit. I gotta bust out the
It could also
deep.
say tackle here too, considering I don't know if they're sold on Jonah Williams playing the right side now that they have Orlando Brown Jr.
Is Michael Mayer gone?
Yeah, I took Michael Mayer earlier.
Shit. What about Laporta?
Sam Laporta's available.
Well, we'll go with Sam Laporta. Pretty
Yeah,
fast for a tight end.
yeah,
4.5.
that's not bad for a
40.
tight end at all. Sam
He's got
Laporta.
20 broken catch. He's got 20 broken cat. Oh my god, not catches, tackles on 58 catches in the season. So not a whole lot of action, but
Yeah,
breaks free when he
hey,
does. So
not a pick you see often. I'll say, but you can't go wrong with an Iowa tight end. I mean, George Kittle was
no,
good. Uh, T.J. Hawkinson was another good one. I feel like I'm missing one other Iowa tight end that succeeded in the NFL. But Laporta,
they
I
know how to
mean,
build them.
I've seen
He
some
might
people
not.
be
He might
pretty
not
high
have a
on Laporta.
promising. He might not have a promising future right now, but if like he works like any other Iowa tight end, he'll have a good future if he like works for it and
Yeah,
figures
tight
out
end
what
you.
he needs to work on.
Yeah. Probably could also see guys like Darnell Washington and Luke Musgrave go there, but I feel like the Bengals, I don't hate that pick where they could go for just addressing probably the biggest need they have after losing Hayden Hurst and taking a tight
Yeah.
end. So, Cameron, you got the Saints at 29. I feel like the Saints are such a hard team to draft for.
Yeah, they're hard to draft for. We're gonna go Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State.
Damn, he took Emmanuel Forbes. That was gonna be my guy next too. Jesus, we're all just stealing each other's. Yeah, I like Emmanuel Forbes there. Uh, like I said before, dude's a ball hawk, dude's physical. I mean, he's a little undersized, but can be a stud in the NFL. So Emmanuel
Okay,
Forbes, pretty solid.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, pick 30. I got the Eagles on the plate here. So we went tackle before. Do we see them go in the trenches? Um,
Honestly, I feel like they go Jordan Addison here, just because you need that third guy in that receiver room. You have solid receivers in AJ Brown and fuck, why can't I think of his name?
oh, you got
Devontae
yeah.
Smith.
I
And then your third guy is I his name's on the tip of my tongue.
Zach Pascal. Is he still even on the team? Right?
He's not on the Eagles.
I don't even know who they got. Oh, Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins.
Yeah, I don't know if you're sold on
Guy
Quez
had a lot of
Watkins.
drops this year. Doesn't have the greatest hands. You need that third guy, I feel like. I feel like that's the best pick here.
Yeah. Kind of bouncing between him and Mozzie Smith right now. You know what? We'll go Jordan Addison. I feel like Mozzie Smith is a decent pick too, and it's considering they lost Fletcher Cox, but you might be able to get a good defensive interior later on, like Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin. Sika, I don't even know how to say that guy's name. Siaka Ika out of Baylor.
But I
And
feel like you could see Mozzie Smith falling to the second round to you.
that's true. So yeah, Jordan Addison. I mean, like he's probably the last receiver I'd be okay with taking in the first round. Josh Downs, I've seen in some drafts in the first round, but I'm not sold on him. I feel like he's pretty undersized, and I don't think his skill set will translate that well to the NFL. And Nathaniel Dell, I mean, his stock is plummeting regardless of what uh, PFF wants to tell you with his rank being at 44. I mean, I've heard some bad things about Nathaniel Dell. Didn't have an impressive combine at all either, so
Only
definitely not working in his favor.
5'10", 165.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to
He's
pan
that
out too well.
small. He's that Devontae Smith kind of build.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that did work out for the Eagles, but I don't know. I'd rather have Jordan Addison,
He's
more of a
not Devontae
playmaker.
Smith.
Yeah. All right. Pick number 31. Chiefs, Bryce, to close out the first round.
I have them going with that guy out of Kansas State.
I'm back.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
guy. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So Bryce, you had the option. They're thinking maybe edge rusher, maybe
Edge
wide
rusher.
receiver. That's probably the two main needs.
Okay.
You could also go tackle, but they signed someone in free agency. So
Um. Hmm. Uh. What about Mr. Felix and Anuki? Oh, wait, and Nuduke
Just
and a
don't say
Dyke
it. Just say edge rusher out of Kansas State.
and a Duke
Uzama. Yeah. I mean, Cameron was
I
just
know how
talking
to
about
say
him.
Uzama, but I don't know how to say Anuk and I don't know.
Yeah.
Anudik?
Anudik.
Anudike?
Yeah, I feel like that's a
Anudike?
pretty solid pick right there. Kansas City could need an edge rusher. I don't really know a whole lot about that guy to be completely transparent,
Yeah.
but I've
I
heard
haven't really
good
watched the
things.
whole Kansas State games, but I
Yeah.
heard he's not been terrible, so
So yeah, I mean that rounds out our mock. A couple of notable names that didn't go in the first. Darnell Wright, I feel like he has the possibility to go in the first. DeJuan Jones, Will McDonald, and I'm trying to think of more here. I already clicked out of the thing, so now I can't look at it. Cam Smith out of South Carolina. He'll probably go to the Steelers, honestly, at 32, or a tackle. We'll go to them, but uh, that's our mock. I'm gonna run down here and just go through all the picks again. So first overall, Panthers took Bryce Young. Second, the Texans took C.J. Stroud. Third, the Cardinals took Will Anderson Jr. Fourth, the Colts took Will Levis. Fifth, the Seahawks took Jalen Carter. Sixth, the Lions took Christian Gonzalez. Seventh, the Raiders took Devon Witherspoon. Eighth, the Falcons take Tyree Wilson. Ninth, the Bears take Paris Johnson Jr. At pick 10, Eagles take Peter Skoronski. At 11, Titans take Anthony Richardson. At pick 12, Texans take Miles Murphy. At pick 13, the Jets take Elijah Cansey. At 14, the Patriots, I don't know why I blanked on that for a second, took Lucas Van Ness. 15, the Packers take Brian Branch. 16, Commanders take Broderick Jones. That was the first half of the draft. And then the second half at pick 17, Steelers take Jackson Smith and Jigba. At 18, Lions take Michael Mayer. At 19, the Bucks take Brian Brzee. At 20, Seahawks take Osiris Torrance. At
You
21,
skipped over 17.
I swear I said 17, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't know, maybe I did.
I don't think you did.
Oh, well. Pick 21, Chargers take Joey Porter Jr. 22, Ravens take Nolan Smith. 23, Vikings take Quentin Johnson. 24, the Jaguars take Deontay Banks. At 25, Giants take Zay Flowers. At 26, Cowboys take Bijan Robinson. At 27, Bills take Dalton Kincaid. At 28, the Bengals take Sam Laporta. At 29, Saints take Emmanuel Forbes. At 30, the Eagles take Jordan Addison. And at 31, to close it out, the Chiefs take Felix Anudike Ozama. I think that's how you say it. Sounded pretty legit. So,
you sounded way better than I did.
eh, I did my best attempt at it. So yeah, that closes out our 1.0 and only mock we're doing as a joint mock draft for the NFL. So we'll see how this pans out on draft day. We'll see if we're right.
Yeah,
See if we get any
probably
picks
not.
right.
Probably
Yeah,
number one. That's about it.
yeah, maybe we might get a few right. I think
Maybe the first 5 or 10.
I think after the
Maybe
draft
the first
happens,
half.
on the next episode after that, we should see who got the most picks right. That'd be interesting. So,
Yeah, that'll
I
be fun.
think it's on the table for us to maybe do a live show during the draft. We did discuss that a little bit before, so that might be in the future. Besides that, I mean, that pretty much closes out this episode of Cheap Seats. Anyone want to say anything before we leave?
Sayonara, suckers.
There you go. All right.
See y'all next time.
Yeah, peace, motherfuckers. We'll talk to you next episode.